Yeah.
Right, we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Just good afternoon. We are an hour ahead, and that's probably going to flummox a whole bunch of you
Oh, some
who
of
are
our
used to
American
seeing us.
viewers are going to be they're going to be put out, aren't
I
they?
know, I know. It's like, well, hang on, what am I going to do for breakfast now? This is my breakfast entertainment. So, whether you are watching us live or whether you are actively doing a hashtag replay, obviously pop that in the comments. So, let me go back and introduce ourselves. We are Speaker Insight. We help speakers, authors, and coaches to build a portfolio business on your terms. Now, I'm Helena.
And
And that
I'm
over
Kelly.
there, yeah, is Kelly. And we've got Chris and Jude Wharton with us, but I'm not going to let them talk to you yet, because what we'd love to do is know a little bit about the buzz in your business. And because we are early, and because there may not be, oh, Eunice, hi, very nice, hashtag live, hello, which is really good. So tell us about the buzz in your business. What's exciting? What are you up to? What have you got coming up that is really enticing for you? So we're going to do a little bit of that just to allow people to go, huh? What? It's live already? And those notifications kind of going, oh, wait, I haven't made my cup of tea or whatever. So we'll let you do that by just telling you a little bit of the stuff that's going on in our business, the buzz in our business. I'm heading up to Scotland to really kind of, to see some of the people that are in our Scottish contingent of our membership and say hello to some of those
Which is growing.
because yes, absolutely. Yesterday we did a hashtag Ask Us Anything, which is always part of our weekly sort of deal inside Changemaker Central, and it was all the Scottish lot. So I'm quite looking forward to doing that. Oh, apparently I'm looking glam. Thank you, Joe. Joe is saying I'm looking gorgeous, and she's loving my glam. So
It's the bling. That's what it is. It's the
it
bling.
must be the bling. So I'm enjoying that as well. How amazing. Thank you so much. So but the other buzz in our business, and this is really for our change makers, is we are about to launch our Market Your Way product, which is going to really help so many people to really pull together their marketing in a way that's easy for speakers, authors, and coaches. We know that you don't like to do the marketing thing, and you kind of steer away from it, and it's a little bit on the icky side. So we've just made it really easy. But of course, our members get first dibs. So tomorrow they get hold of all of this beautiful stuff that we've created for them. So we're quite excited about that, aren't we, Kelly?
We are like that's one of the things. One of the things that we talk about is in marketing is just not the spray and pray technique,
Yeah.
but what we want to do is make sure that not only do you have content inspirations, people go, oh, I don't know what I can talk about, then put that in some sort of strategy, then have a plan that you follow, and then have a way of measuring and following up all of those outcomes and results so that you know what is and isn't working, so you do more of what is working. And we've done that all in a one-step pack with all of the inspiration, all the documents, all the plans for you to follow. So there is no excuse.
That's right.
And we've made it fun, right? So, and I know that Joe's saying that the buzz in her business is her quiz, which is going live this week. I know you've been doing that with Steve, which is awesome. And Taruna says hi, guys. She says that she knows you, Chris.
Which is really good. So I'm going to invite those of you. Kelly can pop the link out. I know that she's probably shared this into Changemaker Central, but she's also shared it into the Connection Hub, which is our group where the real conversation happens. Obviously, we love to teach through introducing you to amazing people, or at least talking about things that are relevant for you. But the real conversations around being a speaker, author, or coach in today's slightly strange times is really where it takes place. So if you're not already a member, do come and join us in there, because I think you basically won't regret it. So that's the buzz in our business. What's the buzz in your business? And please elaborate loads, because you're in for quite some time, aren't you?
Yeah. So our exciting thing we've got going on at the moment is we are starting our 12-day perfectly planned website challenge next week. It's the second time that we've run it. So we're excited because it went really well first time. Really lovely group we had in. So we're hoping that we're going to get a similar feel again. And this week leading up to it, I am doing 9 Facebook Lives in various groups on various pages. Some of them are our own, but most of them are for other people. Just to start helping people, getting their websites out there, helping them to sort of avoid the pitfalls, that a lot of mistakes that people make in websites, and also getting them interested in the challenge as a natural lead on from those. So yeah. That's me this week. Chris is doing 1 of those. Oh no, 2. 2 of those. Chris is doing 2.
I booked 1. Jude booked 8.
But we all play to our strengths, Jude, right?
Absolutely.
So you are the front woman, right? And Chris is the tech guy. So, but what I love about the challenge is that people last time got so much from the challenge, because you're basically prepping them to build a website, everything they need beforehand. It's not just, you get them to do quite a lot of work, which is why it's a longer challenge than normal, because they literally come out with all the documentation, all the research, all the stuff that they need to then go and build the website, which I think is great, because
it's amazing.
Exactly why we're doing this live, because we get asked questions all the time about, I want to change my website, I want to update it, or I've started something new. All these questions that we're hopefully going to cover today, but you actually then get the work done with them in their own language, in their own branding, in their own copy, so that they've got something to work with straight away, which just
it's amazing. It really is. And it does. Sorry, Kelly, you go ahead. You continue.
Yeah, just one, because I just want to highlight with these guys, you can easily, when you start working with Ready Steady websites, if you've got this stuff done, you can have a website ready in under a week, right? A few days, even some people have done it in. So the speed of turnaround, especially when you've done this challenge, just increases dramatically.
And of course that's the thing. So we're going to let them get a word in edgewise in a moment, but we just really want to celebrate with all of you. You know that Kelly and I are all about putting the foundations in your speaker, author, coach business, and a website definitely is one of those foundational pieces. But the website doesn't just happen. It takes preparation. And that's why we absolutely wanted to tie this in with your challenge, because the preparation that you take people through is just phenomenal. So I would suggest that even if you are not currently thinking about doing your website, you might want to do this anyway, just for the thinking that it prods, because most of us have, in the times that we're in, most of us have actually shifted and changed, but has your website shifted and changed alongside that to really show you in the light that you are now showing up in? And that might also, this might actually just be a little nudge for you on a daily basis that allows you to go, oh, hang on a minute, I hadn't actually thought about that, and I might actually think about that. So that's my little piece. Hi, Andrea, kicking hard here. So she's doing well. So let us get you going. So tell us a little bit about how both of you found yourselves in this website industry and why you decided to go down the route of helping speakers, authors, and coaches.
You go first.
How far shall I go back?
Well, we normally finish at 1.
One cold day in November. 39. No. So I've always been interested in kind of art, graphics, the design side of things. So through school and college and uni and everything, I sort of concentrated my efforts on the pretty designy stuff. And then in uni, I ended up specialising in what was then called multimedia. This is really before websites were a thing. And I built an online flash game as my final year project.
Nice.
And then I came out of university 20 years ago-ish. And I applied to like 70 odd jobs over that summer. And my mum picked out this little job out of the local paper saying web designer. And I was like, what's a web designer? And this is like properly before it was really like a job role. So I went along, I showed them my flash game, and then I got a job there. So I started building websites on kind of early content management systems there. And then I moved on to another company and became a sort of senior designer doing web development. And then I ended up managing that company as a studio manager. And that's when we worked with some massive clients like Coots and RBS and Mazda and Aston Martin and IKEA and all those kind of big guys. And then about 10 years ago, when we were due our first little boy, I decided I didn't really want to be getting in at 5 a.m. and leaving at midnight, and basically just replying to emails all day long. So we thought, right, let's start up a company. as a web design company. And so yeah, we did it. Basically jumped in with 2 feet. I started off kind of doing freelance work, white labeling work for people, and then after about a year?
Yeah, a year to 6 months after Chris started doing the freelance stuff, it was my time to go back to work. And again, like Chris, like I had a job where I was going to be leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning and getting back at 6 in the evening and have this baby that I just wasn't going to see. And so we thought about like, how we could make the business work with both of us working for it. And initially, I joined the business and just took on the business function role. I would be doing the admin side, the finance side, all the stuff that Chris couldn't bill for, basically, so that he had more time for billable work and increased income. But then, so that was nearly 10 years ago, almost exactly 10 years ago, actually. That I joined the business.
October,
and then I just started to learn from Chris, really. And I did learn HTML and CSS and do all that side of things, but it wasn't my forte. My background was in education and training. And so now, like, we do so much of the training side of things, and I bring that side of things in. I did a lot of project management as well, and people management. So that all's come into it. And so, and I think I have an eye for like websites from the user point of view. So I don't have the techie design side of things, but kind of the two sides that we bring together is where sort of doing the planning side and all that kind of thing works with both of us doing it. So that's how we got to where we are.
So our company is Second Floor Designs, and we specialize in branding, web design and web build. Almost predominantly on top of WordPress is a web build side of things. So we're quite liking the fact that I can do design and code. So we don't need to hire an extra person. I can do it all myself, which does mean I'm twice as busy, but that's fine.
That's a real unique quality though, Chris, because I've worked with many web designers and they're either complete coders, and the benefit of being a coder is the means that you can actually make it bespoke, change things, add things, right? So it's not just there's a template and we can't do anything with it. But then you've also got the design element, and then you've got other people who are branding or aesthetically pleasing, and they know the layout, but it doesn't convert and it's not functional. To have those two elements in one person is a real joy for an end user to work with. And
but
then
it's also a rare thing.
Oh, it's a rare thing, definitely. And then Jude's skill on top of that, because one of the reasons why we love you guys is because that you offer the training and support post and pre and during production, and that's really where the training comes in, and the hand-holding and really understanding the user journey, rather than just a conveyor belt of websites going through and then people never getting the support or the changes that you want afterwards. So
and also just the fact that because you're able to frame it around this is how it works, and you're able to explain that to people, you actually make it easy and simple for people who aren't necessarily technical to actually fall in love with their own website, rather than it being something that they ship off to someone else that feels a little bit in the ooh, that's a bit uncomfortable box and I'll sort of leave it, rather than using it as a responsive mechanism that really helps them do business through it. So, as Kelly says, we choose you as our partners because you are absolutely the whole package for people.
Of course, right? Yeah. And our avatar is similar to your avatar, not only in the speakers, authors and coaches, and we'll go on to that niche in a minute, but also the fact that most of the people that we work with either are scared or don't like tech. And that's the problem with most people with websites, is they think they have to know code. They think they have to understand, that it's like, I don't know what I don't know. What do I need to be putting in a website specifically for a speaker, author or coach? So let's go on to that, because I know that this is the area where Ready Steady Websites, that branch of your business, specializes in. I know you work with therapists and consultants as well as speakers, authors and coaches, but what would you say what would you say are the elements and the features that these people need to be considering in their websites, which maybe a standard e-commerce website wouldn't typically have? What are the things that they should be considering and including?
So that's one of the things that's a bit different about Ready Steady website. So it was kind of born out of, we felt it was a kind of a necessity, almost a gap in the market maybe. So through Second Floor, we did a lot of kind of B2B sort of small business type websites. In the last couple of years, we realized we were doing predominantly entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, those kind of people. And then we thought, well, we don't really want to be charging people for essentially the same output every time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want it to look unique, but we should be able to reduce the cost and the time involved for them. So that's when kind of Ready to Say website was born. And the thing that's unique is that we research each of our templates as if it was a final client. So you still kind of get those kind of agency, thousands of pounds worth of hours and time poured into research and development and design. And then the output is you get something that feels unique for your niche, but then is tailorable enough to make it unique for you. One of the main things we found with the speaker template is that really differs from kind of a lot of other things that are out there, is the need to have like a kind of press pack resources page and then able to actually showcase your work. So we've got obviously you kind of got the showcase thing, and videos are kind of the norm across a lot of websites, but the resources page is kind of quite unique in the fact that you can put your sort of your long, short, medium bio on there. There's a downloadable section for your kind of press pack, your press images. If you've got like a what's that called? Showreel. Yeah, if you've got a showreel, and if you've got like a rider, that's the word I was looking for. So like if you've got a predefined set of requirements that you have when you hit the stage, you can put all that in one place. And our speakers love that one because they have an agent come to them and say, oh, can you send me your photos? Can you send me your bio? Can you send me
the intro?
Just go to mywebsite.com/resources and you get it all there. And then get it on one page. So
and it's brilliant because also, even if people do have those things in a Dropbox folder or an Amazon S3, when people are trying to attach them into an email with the high-res images or a speaker showreel example, the files are too large to send. So it basically, and it's also great because a speaker website, which we've spoken about before, the reason why we say, even if you're a coach and an author and have a business, we always recommend you having a separate speaker website because the avatar is different, right? So if you're a speaker and a coach, your coach website will be speaking to your clients, whether that's B2B or B2C. So they want to see testimonials, they want to see the services, they want to learn about you. When your speaker website is for a corporate booker, an events organization, HR people, and they don't really care about your coaching services. Yep. The testimonials they want are about your speaking, not your coaching. And they want all this information that you said, Chris, professional bio, headshots, intros, speaker showreels. Yep. And you're actually the copy on that website is about the pain that the organization or the event is going through that you can solve with your speaking gig, not the pain that the individual user's going through. So your avatar is different, and it's really hard to mix those messages on one website. Yeah. And it's also a great place for PR. So if you've just been featured in a newspaper or a magazine or whatever, or you're going to send them to that website because they've got all that information to download and access straight away. So we love that. But we also know that your other websites have got all that functionality to involve, say, for example, a coach, and you want to have Acuity Scheduler to actually book those appointments, that calendar appointments, have the questionnaires going on. All this functionality is doable on your templates, on your websites, and what are the resources that current coaches, speakers, authors, and coaches are using for plugins, so that you know what works, and this is where the advice bit comes.
And the kind of the just sorry, we're just
we're not passionate about this.
We love that you make this so easy for people, and we think that it is one of those, because you do the thing that we require of all of our speakers, authors, and coaches that we suggest that they do. It's that listening piece, and of course you have things in place that allow you to listen to what your audience for the Ready Steady websites does. You are constantly listening for, actually, could we have one of these, that you then build into everybody's, which is wonderful. So we really appreciate that. So, but I'm going to take you right the way back for those people who are watching and going, yeah, that's all well and good, but I don't even know whether I want, I'm a bit scared of it because I don't even know, there's Squarespace, there's Wix, there's WordPress. I don't know which one to have. I'm hearing nightmares, so it's a question we get asked a lot, what platform do I use and why should I use it? So in your professional kind of opinion view, What would you say to people who are going, what do I choose?
I mean, the diplomatic answer is it's kind of depends on what your requirements are. Obviously, we're massive WordPress fans, so we advocate the use of WordPress. We've been using WordPress for over a decade, and it's never been a project we haven't been able to complete using it. So it's very scalable. It's very future-proof. Having said that, things like Squarespace and Wix, and they do have their place. But we found over the years that a lot of people who have signed up for those kind of services, they will usually outgrow them within 12 to 18 months.
Right.
Whether that's they want to do something that's unique to them, whether they want to bolt on a membership site, whether they want to have something that's different to the kind of standard e-commerce that's built into those platforms. They normally find that happens after sort of 12 to 18 months. They sort of outgrow the platform, but they work really well if you just want a static kind of presence on the web. You're never going to want to do anything clever. You just want a shop front basically. You don't want to take any money online and all that kind of stuff. They'll work really well for a long period. But most people now, especially with the times that we're having and people are pivoting left, right and centre, they want to have a platform that actually they can leverage, and they don't have to chop and change things around. They just bolt things on, which is one of the things that we love about WordPress. It's got such a massive repository of free plugins that you can just add whole new functionality. It would have cost tens of thousands 15 years ago. You can get in 15 seconds now by searching it, adding it, and there you go. You've got an e-commerce shop bolted on. So it just makes things so simple. And also, being a coder, we can code stuff on top of WordPress that doesn't already exist. So you've got the kind of best of both worlds, really. It's a developer dream, really.
And there are like so many developers will support you if you've got a WordPress site. But if you have got a site on one of the other options and you decide you want to add something to it, no one who's actually sort of truly a web designer and developer is probably going to touch it. So and there's so many limitations as to what you can do anyway. It's just worth, we think, going for something that the support is going to be there and you can just grow your business with it.
And so I think there's two things there. And one thing I want to highlight, some people's concerns around WordPress and plugins is the fact that they need updating, right? So obviously, and when one of the things when people go with Ready Steady websites is that you will actually look at that maintenance of that website as an ongoing basis. So if plugins needed to be updated, you would make sure there's a saved version, blah, 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 backed up before anything's done. All these things that the really non-techie people, as soon as
even the techie people, Kelly, even the techie ones, they're still like, oh no.
Yeah, a bit worried. So this is why the ongoing support that you guys offer is really important. But to highlight, when we talk about speakers, authors and coaches growing a portfolio business, you might start with just as an author and you just have a book page and then you decide to start coaching. And so the WordPress website allows this scalability that you were talking about, Chris. And even for ourselves, our own website just started initially as a website where we had like our retreats and stuff on. Then we built the membership plugin. Then we had LearnDash as an online course. Then we built a directory. Then, right? So, and it just allows our business to grow as we grow, without having to change the foundations of it all. And that's why we're also big WordPress fans.
Well, and we're big WordPress fans mainly because working on behalf of speakers, authors and coaches, as a breed, speaking to all of those, you're creative beings, like at the drop of a hat, you'll go, oh my God, I could do this. And WordPress allows you to go, yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
And that's actually the thing that, makes it easy, so that translating the brilliance of you that you want to get out in the world as a change maker actually becomes much more flexible and possible using WordPress. And, and again, other options are available in that way that people sort of say, right?
And we have found this whole new breed probably about a year ago, I think, when we started to train on it in our membership areas, that short online courses are great as lead generations and as data capture and some income for people. But when you're starting to sell your flagship courses, the ones that are sort of £2,000 plus, we saw in our clientele base and with ourselves that that was involved in more of a membership site, people got the course, but they got the ongoing support and community and tribe that went with it. People got better results doing their flagship courses that way. And that's why we love, again, on top of what you do for Ready Steady websites, there is a membership part that you can actually have when you build the website, or even at a later stage, so that when you want to offer this course membership combo, or even just a membership platform, again, it's not a new build from scratch from you. You've already got the layout, the stuff done, which for most people who are building membership sites from scratch, it's an expensive project, and also most people don't know what they need to ask for. So that's why it's the beauty of, it's why we say to people when they're using squeeze pages and landing pages, we love Lead Pages.net, because all the branded templates are there and they're showing which ones are converting the most. You guys are doing the same for websites and membership sites, and that not only increases their conversion, increases their confidence, and it increases the time it takes to create them. So,
and Tarun is just actually saying that. So she's saying she loves her WordPress site, but also that's what she likes about WordPress, that she's been able to, over time, actually add in WooCommerce, and then probably wanting to add LearnDash. So it's this, as you said, and I love the word, you know, the future proofing of your own creativity and the direction of your business, because, you know, right now everything's up for grabs and there are loads of opportunities, but we all have to kind of make it work for ourselves, and the flexibility, I think, is the key to that. So so let's take it back a step.
Yeah, what we want to help safeguard people as well, and this might also help people understand why we choose you. But what are the common mistakes that you see that people come when they either want their websites fixed, or when they spend money and they've gone, oh, you know, I made this mistake before? What are the things that we can protect our members from making those mistakes? What would they be?
I think one of the most common problems is that people have websites that are not planned, and that's what leads to them making those mistakes. So I think making sure that you plan your website, whether you're starting from scratch, or if now you're thinking it needs rejigging, I want to make some changes to it, actually kind of go back to the start and start thinking like, right, who is my ideal client? And I know you guys do stuff around that. And also, what is the purpose of my website? What do I want my website to be doing for me? Is it that I want them to be just getting my download and signing up to my newsletter, or am I trying to get them to get in touch with me? Am I trying to get them to buy something? Whatever the key purpose is of the website, that needs to be the focus, and then plan around that.
Obviously, I'm going to tell everybody to do a 4 intentions on. If you are going to redesign your website, I am obviously going to tell you to do a 4 intentions on it, so that you know what the answers to the questions that Jude just asked you were.
But also, Jude, you're in your challenge, you get them to define their avatar, to actually create a bit of a blueprint of the website as well. Is that correct?
So yeah, we get them to define their ideal customer avatar. We get them to think about what is the key purpose of their website, and if there's a secondary purpose. We kind of use the Donald Miller approach on that one, that he says like everything should be focused around your client, your ideal client, and what are you asking them? Like if it's buy or join, that's kind of the will you marry me question. But if they're not ready to marry you, you then need to have the second backup of, okay, well, will you go out on a second date with me? Which might be the sign up to my mailing list, or, you know, check out my blog posts, or whatever it is that you want them to do to kind of find out a bit more about you, to perhaps eventually get to that key button that you want them to hit. So we go through that to start off with. Then we get them to do a sitemap. So we get them to actually consider all the pages that they're going to need to have on their website. We get them to use Post-it notes and create that sitemap and send us photos, and we'll give them feedback on whether they need to perhaps switch some menu items around. And then we get them thinking about their copy. And again, we do suggest they go and purchase Donald Miller's StoryBrand book to do that. And yeah, we get them thinking about their copy and their page layouts at that time as well, to make sure that the page layouts are going to work with their copy.
Also, in between that, a bit of research about, with the sitemap, a bit of research on other people in the niche, or even other people that they look up to that not necessarily in their niche, but they want to replicate that kind of user sort of
when they're like, oh, I really like the parallax style, or whatever it might be.
And we also get them to look at what they don't like. So if they're going to websites of their competitors and there's something on there they really think, oh, I really want to avoid that, we get them to jot it down so they don't go and make that same mistake down the line when they're creating their site. And then we go on to them thinking about the images they're going to use on their site and talk to them about kind of professional photography versus stock images. And we would always recommend the professional photography route, but obviously we understand at the moment some people might not be able to get out for photo shoots if they're in parts of the country
or
where
they might not have had their hair done for 3 months.
we have that. I know. It's like, what?
And they may not have the budget, obviously, if they're just starting out and this is their first website. So we go all over images and things like that. And then we talk about them writing their shopping list. So they've done all that research. They've got all their content. They've thought about the purpose of their site. So they now know what they need on their site, and they write a list of that, and we get them to do a list for now and a list for 6 months down the line or a year down the line, so they're taking into consideration that future proofing. And then our final teach is looking at the different options out there for them to create their site and using their website shopping list to guide them on their choices of which way they go with it, even to looking at if they need to go bespoke and what they need to look out for if they're going to be employing a designer or a developer. So yeah, we take them through the whole process leading up to actually creating it.
What a challenge. I mean, it's
so generous.
a course in itself, basically, I think. So
we
there again, but
turned it into a mini course. So after doing it the first time, there were people who got through it in the 12 days absolutely fine. There were some who thought they would, but then like their child got ill and, you know, those things get in the way. So we have done it in a mini course format as well that people can upgrade to just for £9 so that they can start it earlier and they're not waiting on the next email to come with the next challenge. They can just get through it and then still be ready to do the live teach with us at the end around the ways of creating your site and the sort of the final question time with us then. So yeah.
Oh, and let me tell you what I absolutely love about that. So for those of you who are listening, I hope you heard what Jude just said, right? They started a challenge. They saw a need. They started a challenge. They're running it again, but on the back of the feedback, they not only did that, they went, hang on a minute, we could turn this into a course. When Kelly and I talk about a portfolio business, we really are talking about you taking what you know works for your avatar, which is why knowing your avatar is so vital. And we say this all of the time. But if you heard that, it's just the listening that happens as a result of it. And so they've now turned it into a course that allows people to do it almost in an on-demand way, as well as being part of the process of doing it in a challenge way. So I know I'm going kind of off script a little bit, but I really want to highlight to all of you that running a speaker, author, coach business really is around listening so that you can put what you need in place. And one of the things, as we keep saying, that we love about you is that, that's what you help people do. So you help people overcome a lot of the issues that we've just been, the mistakes that people make, right, Kelly?
And one of the things, I know you mentioned this is the challenge, because I think we say this when people are writing a book. We go, what's the purpose of the book? Is it for lead gen? Is it for brand exposure? Is it for opening the doors into corporates? And then you build the book based on what the outcome is. Yeah. And I think a lot of people with websites, their outcome is normally to get clients or to make sales in some form of the way. But what I see a mistake a lot of people do is then forget about that dating thing that you mentioned, Jude. They go for the marriage, but so many people forget to put any lead gen or data collection on a website. And I'm like, they're looking at the bounce rates of the amount of people that are coming to that website and doing nothing. Yeah. If they had that juicy lead magnet on that homepage, maybe above the fold, even those people that didn't ask marriage proposals, you'd still be able to have those dating, nurture email campaigns and things. They'd be in your world to nurture. And so I really want to highlight that to a lot of people when they are thinking of building a website or even what they've currently got. Have you got lead capture on your website, on the homepage and wherever else that you can, so you're not missing a trick?
Absolutely, and it definitely should be above the fold. Like the way we've got it on our site is we've got our join now.
Can I just say, can you just explain
Yeah,
that, just in case we've got some complete novices?
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing that thing where I'm minding people's business, and just explain that to people.
So the fold was a print term. So
It
for
was,
newspapers, there is a fold, and the newspaper, when it's in the shop, and the bit you see in the top half is above the fold, and that's the bit that's going to grab your attention. Oh, we've got someone at the door.
I've put 3 weeks in the door.
Sorry, we're at home.
Thank goodness there are 2 of you.
We would have been in the office, but we've got one of ours home ill today. It's just a cold. There is no temperature or persistent cough. We are okay, but it's at home ill, so we've had to do this from home. But yeah, so above the fold. So in the shop, in the news, you look at a newspaper, what you can see that's going to grab your attention is above the fold. The term has then come onto websites, so that what you see on your screen initially is above the fold, and once you scroll down, that's below the fold. So yeah, above the fold, you definitely want to be having like your call to actions. And again, if we go with Donald Miller's approach, more than one. So our website, we kind of sort of follow his approach. We demonstrate it, we sort of role model it. In the top right on the nav, we've got our Join Now button, and then we've got our sort of our hero and a bit of nice blurb, and then we've got 2 more buttons. So we've got Join Now again, and then next to it, we've got check out our freebies. So it is that kind of, you're not ready to join, but go and see what you could download, and yeah, obviously we'll be collecting your email address at the same time.
The thing is, you need to make this stuff obvious for people. It's like that delivery driver just then. There were 3 post-it notes on the door. He's not read any of them. So you need to be prepared for people doing the same thing to your website. They come along, they don't see a button, they don't know where to click.
Yeah.
But even if they see a button,
Learning point there that you had to go to the
There
door.
are 3 bright orange post-it notes on the door saying we are on a work call. Don't ring the door. People don't read them.
it's a great point, because I say to people, even though you've done a button,
Yeah.
the increase in conversion when you put click here
Yeah.
on the button is crazy. Like, you just think, well, why do I need to put the word click when people?
Because it's a verb, and people follow verbs. So you know, we so now I'm just going to go into goal setting and then tell you what Taruna says as well. But you know, actually, when you are writing your to-do list, all of the actions that you put on your to-do list need to start with a verb. Create this, click this, join that, because we act. Buy now, I tell you. But we act on verbs, and that's actually the key thing, right? And so it's just the tiniest little things that actively sort of need that. Taruna's just actually highlighted this. She said, I need to put a lead magnet on, but I did find by now, having my booking link, I had a call booked with a prospective client that they had a choice to complete a form or book a call. So, you know, it's that choice, as you say, but also really making it clear.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and they do. Yeah, they need to be big buttons with very clear guidance on the button, and yeah, then it'll work. But yeah, maybe not for that delivery man though.
No, for sure. So whilst we're at it, then, so what would be the top tips that you have for creating a website then?
God, you can do the top tips.
Oh,
am I doing the top tips?
Come on, Chris, you got to do some work on this call. She's doing 9 lives this week.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm doing 9 lives. Come on. I think our top tips would be plan it. Definitely plan it, obviously, like we said. You need to get your copy right as well. We see far too many websites where people are just on the homepage, have just launched into their life story. And it's like, well, this is lovely for the about page to get a real sense of the background of why you've got into what you're doing and what your experience is. But homepage, your copy is all about your client. And like you said earlier, Kelly, it's about kind of like understanding what their problem is, what their pain points are, and showing that you understand that, showing them that you've got a way of solving those for them, and showing that you have done it before and there's evidence that you're good at it, whether it's testimonials or whether it's, you know, you've got a link to a case studies page or whatever. That's what your homepage content needs to do. And a lot of people still aren't getting that right. We see when, like, we did quite a lot of reviews of people's websites on the last challenge. They'd already got a website and like, do you mind just having a look at it? And straight away it was just like, ooh, okay. And like there was a business that we heard of that was sold beautiful, lovely chocolates, and I thought, okay, let's go and have a look. And I got dietary requirements, so like my main thing really was what's in this chocolate. But no, we had this whole like stream of like her granddad used to make chocolate, and he started whenever he's, and like it's a lovely story, but I'm really
That's all I
struggling
want to know
to
straight
find out
away. Yeah.
how much sugar are you using in your chocolate. That's not what it is. So it needs to be like real useful information for your clients in your copy on the key pages.
And on that, because I know Ready Steady, you guys have a Facebook group when people work with you, and there's lots that you do there in support. Do you do things like that about training people on what makes a good homepage, for example, and to tell them that it's about their customers at that first stage rather than about them? Is that the type of stuff that you guys do?
We have worksheets. So when you join Ready Steady websites, we have a couple of worksheets that take you through how to, map your content, what a sign up is, what a wireframe is, all that kind of stuff as well, and talk about tone of voice and language and all that kind of stuff. So we do kind of from that point of view as well. In our challenge specifically, we really help people kind of focus on how to lay out their pages and what makes a good homepage as well.
Yeah, so in our members Facebook group, we'll support them on whatever they need support with. So if it is they've got a question around those initial planning worksheets that they've got access to, which include the getting your copyright, and in that worksheet we've written about like what your tone of voice should be like on the homepage. Then in a sales page you might want to be a bit more direct, and we talk to them around those different things. And then the membership group, we answer questions about everything that even just tangibly slightly relates to websites. If they've like heard of like, have you heard of this app? We're like, well, yeah, we can help you with that one. So we'll like answer any questions, won't we? No, really.
And I know Helena's also put the link to the book that you guys have referenced quite a lot in there as well, so that people can, because I mean that's a great book.
It's amazing
for copy, right? So
yeah, and all areas of business, just getting your business right, that is a solid book. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. For sure.
So and then also if you think about just really what are the main concerns that speakers, authors and coaches have around websites that Ready Steady websites overcomes? Because I know things like you include hosting, you include the updates that we were talking about, we include the tech. I know we were talking to a client, I'm not sure if she's on this one, but about your websites, and she was saying, oh, I like the speaker website, but I want to change the template that they've got, and that's something that they can do. Isn't that right, Chris? Even if you've got a little bit of tech knowledge, you can move some of the features around. So don't think that there's one template and that's it, right? That's one of the things I want to get across to people.
Yeah, so really the idea of the templates is that they're designed for people who aren't necessarily design minded. So the design thinking's been done for them. But that doesn't mean that they're restricted to just put in 8 characters here and 2 paragraphs here, and that image has to be this image here. And it's very much kind of fluid in the fact that they can. Not only can they mix and match rows and modules and components from elsewhere in that template itself, but they can also mix and match from our other templates as well. So quite early on in Ready Steady websites is that someone, like, say for example, they picked the speaker one, but they also wanted a bit about coaching. Then they wanted to have that template layout from the coach template, but it wasn't in the speaker template. So we were initially going, okay, that's right, we'll just import it for you. So after a couple of people saying that, I wrote a plugin that basically pulls in all of the page layouts from all of the page templates, and then they can mix and match now. So they can have
like a screenshot, basically. I want one of them, I want one of them, I want one of them.
And also a drag and drop page builder. So even like once they've got like the template that they like, if it is like, well, actually, I don't want that row, just cross that, click the cross, get rid of that. But I would like extra images, drag them down there, and it's so simple.
So here's the thing that I want to do, and again, I'm just being the audience right now, and I'm just saying the geeks are geeking out a little bit around all of this stuff. So if you're all like going, hang on a minute, what do you mean I get to do this by myself? That thing that Jude said around planning it and getting your post-its out and actually knowing what it looks like on a nice sheet of A4 where you actually go, what do I want it to look like? That's then what you can do that then helps, what Chris and Jude are saying is that you get to create it how you want it. But what they've done in their templates is they've gone, this is how one of these pages can look, and this is how one of these pages can look. So for those of you, and I include myself in this one, who actually go, I don't even know what that graphic design element looks like. I can't even begin to imagine what that might look like. That's where this comes into its own. By having those example pages, that actually allows you to go, oh, okay, so my home page is going to look like this, and my about page is going to look like this, because they've already laid it out for you.
And you've done the research, right? So there's, it's for most speaker websites, the show reel is the thing that needs to be at the top part of the page, because that's actually what most bookers want to go and see before they look at anything else. They want to see a short, less than 3 minutes, guys, not your whole half an hour keynote show reel. And we have got a training on how to create speaker show reels and what needs to go in them, which if you want to reference, have a look at our recordings. But you would know that needs to be above the fold, the first point of thing, rather than, on the about section or whatever. So you've done all that research to know where call to action buttons should go, where certain things should be laid out. But it's still a guide, right? It's not a hard and fast rule, but that's the thing. You don't have to have done that hard work, know that knowledge, know that research. That's what Chris was saying. The agencies charge a lot because they do that per each client. But you are an industry in yourself of speakers, authors, and coaches. So you've got that research, and then you make it bespoke.
Yeah, and also from a tech perspective, we've designed things to take away all of the tech headaches involved with websites. So DNS hosting, connecting to systems like Stripe and MailChimp and ActiveCampaign. We put our arms around you in that regards, and the fact that we'll look after you. Some people have really got their sites in a mess, like they don't know where they bought the domain from, they don't know how their hosting set up, and we will go and untangle the spaghetti that people have left behind and straighten it all out. Whatever the analogy is for straightening out, I think I've used the wrong analogy for spaghetti. But anyway, they straighten it all out. They get the spaghetti, they straighten it all out on the plate, and then they kind of get their business back in order again, because it's surprising how many people don't know. Oh, I think I had one the other day, and someone had a website that they had built their agency originally, then it was rebuilt on top of the other website by someone else, but they found out that they had a hosting account, but it had been delegated to another hosting account. And I was like, how do your emails work? I don't know, they just work. Okay. Anyway, so it all gets ironed out as part of the process, and then I tell them how it works and how to keep it, so they know, they're in control from that perspective. But if anyone gets unstuck, we've got our own membership site as part of the thing that is Ready Steady Websites, where it takes people through in a video tutorial of how to do everything. But if they get stuck, they got our members only group, and they got private support tickets, and we can jump in, log into systems for them. We can help them with something that's broken. We can reconnect things for them. We can give them advice and automations and all that kind of stuff. So yes, it's quite a personal level of help that people get.
So you
That's
can
why we
see,
love you.
you can see exactly why Jude and Chris are definitely the people that, if you are looking at either shifting, changing, creating, or indeed untangling anything within your website area, that's probably, these are the people that we would highly recommend that you go to, mainly because they understand the nature of the beauty that is a speaker, author, or coach, that creative, slightly chaotic, wonderful being that is always going, oh, what else can I add, and what else can I do in some way, because we want the tech to be working for you. So best way to get in touch with you, obviously Kelly's been put.
I put a link to your main website so people can go and check you out. I've been putting the link to the challenge throughout, but I put it in again. You're in the Connection Hub. You're in Changemaker. So how do you like people to connect with you? And how, if people are watching this on the replay and they've got questions, what should they do?
Tag me in any questions. I'm happy to keep an eye and come in and answer questions. And like you said, in the groups as well, if you tag me. And if you want to get in contact with us, you can through Ready Steady Websites, either on Facebook or on Instagram, or we've got a contact page on our website. We're quite easy to find because we are Ready Steady websites everywhere. So get in contact, and we do keep an eye on all of those methods of communication regularly. We're more than happy to answer questions.
That's brilliant. And I know because you're one of our partners, we'll be doing regular promo posts for you, because websites is one of the things that is a standard, essential, key asset for a portfolio business. So we're really glad to have you on board as one of Speaker Insights partners, and we'll make sure people get good deals when they go with you, and we know that they're in good hands. That's the more important thing, is they get what they want and they get looked after. So I highly recommend anyone being part of your challenge, which starts when, Jude?
On Monday. The challenge starts Monday, the 14th of September, for 12 days.
We might have to send you some chocolate just to keep you going.
Throughout.
With no sugar.
I get it. I was about to inquire about what kind of sugar and everything else. I'll inquire about that, and we'll see where we go with that. So on behalf of everybody, thank you. And if you are watching this further down the line as a hashtag replay, whether you miss this or not, sort of go and follow the links anyway, because I know that this is a challenge that you run on a regular basis. So don't think that just because we and that's what I was going to say. So don't think, sort of like the link that works here will continue working, right? And so you will definitely get access to it. So just in case you are kind of watching this 6 months down the line, you're going, oh no, I missed it. Don't worry, you didn't. So it just, thank you for being part of our world, on behalf of the speakers, authors and coaches who are wanting a website that really works for them, that they can feel more in control of. You are definitely our go-to people. So thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Take care, guys. Have a good challenge.
Thank you. Bye.